March 18th and 19th, Saturday and Sunday, the sun is at the very last degree of Pisces and the moon is 90 degrees in Sag. So before Pisces leaves and Aries comes in, let's just take a moment and review Pisces. Pisces is the dreamer. It's the floating, wandering fish, letting the water direct them. They have no map, and they're just allowing life to have its way. At worst, they are addicts, and they space out, and they don't fulfill their promise. At best, they are musicians and artists and poets. So we really want to distinguish the two levels of Pisces, because in this category, when the moon is squaring it in Sag, Sag is the indulger. They're like, they just love life in all of its flavors, and they eat too much, and they spend too much, and they play too hard. So this combination is the quintessential liar and or addict. When you put Sag and Pisces at their worst, the Pisces makes up stories and the Sag just exaggerates, and they have a whole la-la land they live in. At best, this is the flavor actually Einstein had of Pisces and Sag. They're the dreamers or the mystics, and they're a philosopher, but they're actually aiming it with the service of wanting to be of value to the collective. So in all of Pisces, they have these two fish going in opposite directions. Either they're spaced out, they're not committed, they're kind of floating around and they get a bad name, or they're really in a spiritual devotion and service, and they're genuinely reading your mind because they're trying to track how can they help you. What a beautiful gift Pisces has at its best. At its worst, they're like, how do I look, honey? I mean, they indulge and they drink and they party and they really don't have any commitment at all. So the last day of Pisces, the good news is we have Aries coming around the corner. We'll talk about that soon. And the last thing I wanted to say is there's this T-square between Uranus in Aries, opposite Jupiter in Libra, and Pluto in Capricorn. And we've heard so much about this Uranus squaring Pluto in Capricorn. This is the indicator of why right now in history we're having this crazy revolution in our government. So I just want to mention before Pisces leaves, this T-square, these three planets, describes, Uranus talks about revolution and change, breaking the order. Pluto talks about destruction. Well, if that's not what's going on in our government right now, we're having radical change and destruction, and it creates this discontent or a feeling of scared. And Pisces, they love to get scared. But if from the big picture, from the Pisces devotion, from the spiritual angle, all of this is part of a movie, and you're in it. So don't get caught in being scared, said the Pisces. We're going to go to Aries and get all excited. Aries love when things go wrong. Pisces go, ruh, 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 ruh. I'm scared. So take your fear and put it into the context of astrology and know that the prophets describe this to happen. This same configuration of the square between Uranus and Pluto happened during the Revolution, the French Revolution. So it was in 1776 this occurred before. So it was the same thing. Can you imagine how much the world changed? So I'm encouraging you, all you Pisces scaredy cats, don't drink, don't indulge, don't space out, stay present, do your prayers, and trust that things are meant to be and the gods are not playing with dice, and we're counting on you to study your chart and your astrology so you can be of value to us. Whew. Astrology Answers brought Debra Silverman to tell you that we're in a revolution. It's the good news. The bad news is don't fall asleep in the middle of the movie.